Hello, it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts, and I have a new video set up. So let's keep my fingers, not used to it yet, keep my fingers crossed that this works okay. Be interested to hear what you think of the new setup. Anywho, I'm going to flip the camera down and tell you what we're doing. Oh, and putting all the lights on would be a good idea. There we go. All the lights would be a really good idea. Okay, so, right. Oh gosh, bright lights. So I'm going to just have a quick fiddle with this one, because that's a wee bit too bright, I think. That's a bit better. I'm going to have to play with this, but bear with me whilst I do that. In fact, I might even turn that one off. I don't think I need it. Yay! Okay, so I am making a card to help cheer a couple of people up. Well, I've made one already. So this is the card that I am looking at. It's sort of a rainbow. It doesn't go all the way around, but the indigo-y bit is on the inside. Can you see that? Oh, I've got a new zoom as well. Let me do my whole zoom bit. There we are. So that's the inside. And I'm using two stamp sets because I'm using one for the outside and one for the inside. Got ribbon. So I'm using Everyday Thanks, which is in the annual catalogue. And I've got Layering Leaves, which is also in the annual catalogue. And the Layering Leaves is for the sending hugs. And the cards I'm making are going to two friends of mine who were at backstage with me and came back with bugs. One of them came back with something slightly more exciting than the other, but they're neither of them feeling particularly great. So I've got a black card base, I've got a black mat, I've got three white mats, one of which I will cut down, and that's the one that I'm going to be doing the crayons on. So let me start with that and work from there. Okay, I've got my crayon already mounted up, so let me ink it up, and let me grab that card again so I can show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with this one in the middle, and then work from there. And I just thought this was a fun image to work with, so I'm going to try very hard to stamp it in the middle, but up the way a bit. So I want it kind of there-ish. Do you think that's central? This is where, because I'm going to be cutting it down, if it's not exactly in the middle, it will be fine. So that's the first one. Then I'm going to do the two outside ones, and then I'm going to fill in the gap, or gaps. So this one goes in so that it sort of lines up with the first one as far as the lead is concerned. So we are going in at an angle. And same again the other side. So yes, I've been meaning to sort out my cameras for a while. So I've got myself a new downward looking camera, and I've taken the one that was downward looking and put that on my shelf, and then the other one I've got as a spare, because the other one was not great for focusing. So now I'm just filling in these two areas. So I'm hoping that this downward one is a lot clearer than it was. Who knows, frankly? Who knows the secret of the downward facing camera? Okay, so happy with that. Always a good start. So I'm at, except these aren't very well spaced, but you know, I'm going to come and trim a bit off. I need to lose 1/4 of an inch in all. So 1/4 of an inch from both the horizontal and the vertical. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is trim this down as much as I can, like that. So this should end up that big. Yeah, I can just about do that. And then this should end up that big, but I'm going to do it in 2 chunks. So let's, actually I'm going to do this side first because this is a bigger chunk to lose. Ooh. And I'm hoping the sound is good. It's supposed to cut out background noise because the new camera has got 2 microphones in it, and as I say, it's supposed to cut down on camera noise. Is that going to be able to take the ribbon? Just. Yeah, everything should have been more this down that much. Anyway, it'll be fine. It will be fine. So I'm doing my usual Richard of York gave battle. So it's a rainbow. That's what I'm trying to say. Actually, I'm going to start by doing my erasers at the end, the lead in the pencil and the wood, and then I'll do the colours. So let's start with the lead in the pencils. So I know I should have done these all in the rainbow colours, but it was only literally just when I put that there that I thought, actually these should be crayons and therefore they should all be the same colour as the barrel. But hey, you know, I'm blaming it on the jet lag. I need to be more there, don't I, for my face to be visible, because the whole reason I have that is so that if someone is hard of hearing, they can, if they want, try and read my lips. So that's the plan anyway. But in order for that to happen, it helps if I'm actually in camera. And I'm not convinced that that is the best place to have that camera, but I'm going with it for the moment still. Right, okay, so in order to get a bit of definition, I'm going to use the dark crumb cake at the top and the bottom of the wooden bit on all of these. And then I'm going to colour in the bit in the middle with the light crumb cake. But I have to say, I had an absolute blast at Backstage. It was the most amazing event. It wasn't the same as last year, because if you remember, I went to last year's Backstage, which was in New Orleans. Because that was the first gathering that we were allowed to do internationally since the COVID lockdowns, that was a really special event. And the event this year was never going to have that extra special sense to it, but it was an amazing event. As far as the event was concerned, it was better. I think they took on board some of the feedback we gave them from last year's. But the venue was better last year from a getting to see people point of view, because there was a central area which you had to walk through in order to get to your room. And that wasn't quite the same this year. So from that point of view, it wasn't quite the same. But it was still an amazing event, don't get me wrong. So this, I'm going to use my dark Calypso Coral for my eraser. On the end of each of my pencils, and then I'm going to fill in with light Calypso Coral. So now, when am I going to be putting this out? I'm ahead with my videos, which is really frightening. I got ahead before I went away, and my plan is to continue to be ahead. I'm still aiming to earn the incentive trip to Cancun, Mexico. I've got this month to do it. So if you want to help, if you are in Europe, any order would be lovely. I am close, but I'm not quite there yet, but I am close. So either the weekend we just had or the weekend we're about to have, and as I say, I have no concept of where I am time-wise with all these videos, I will be going, or have been on, a team retreat for my bigger team, so my uplines team, which is always an amazing event. And I've also, whenever I'm putting out this video, I still know it's going to be, the event that I'm going to talk about will be in the future. I've got my own team's retreat, which we do virtually because we are a very widely spread group. So this is dark sweet sorbet, but we're spread across quite a lot of Europe. We've got Germany, the Netherlands, Ireland, and the UK. So in order for us to meet, we need to do it remotely or virtually, whichever the word is. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Whole day retreat, which is going to be fan-dabby-dozy. And it's the time I get to really treat my team. I've just realised I have gone over the line, so let's bleed that back a bit. There we go. So yes, I love to treat my team and thank them for their support, and the retreat is when I really do that. I mean, I do treat all of my team, as in send them little gifts and things. Obviously, if they promote and all those good things, and I have got team promotions to celebrate, obviously then I give them something special. But in amongst all that, I give them little treats every now and again as well. So yes. And this time our retreat is going to focus on one of the sweets in the new mini. By the time you watch this, whenever it is, I will have put the order in for the team retreat. So this is Daffodil Delight. That was pumpkin pie. So yes, that's quite a nice order. And what I'm doing, because that way it works out much easier, is for those of my team who are doing the retreat but who are not in the United Kingdom, I can have things sent straight to their house, because we deliver to all of the European countries, and I just order it for that country and off it goes, which means it doesn't have to go through customs and all that good stuff, which is always helpful, because getting things through customs can be a little bit interesting. So that's orange yellow. I'm doing shaded spruce for my... Oh, I would be doing shaded spruce if I can get the cap off. I have a slightly old shaded spruce and I dropped it from a great height and the cap keeps wanting to come off. Bear with me while I sort that out. There we go. I say the cap, the nib is what I actually mean. But yeah, I dropped it and I've split the barrel. So, but it's still good. I just have a pair of pliers that I can yank the barrel off with. Although it's quite close to needing to be replaced, because it's getting to the squeaky stage. And that always means it needs replacing soon. So that's shaded spruce. This is light shaded spruce. That was dark. So this is light. The rest of the card, you will be delighted to hear, doesn't take too much to get it going. or get it finished, I've got to stamp the inside and layer everything up, tie a ribbon around it, and then we're good to go. Right, blue. I'm using Azure Afternoon. I love this blue. It's a good, proper blue. And it's definitely a crayon blue. I can't believe I was so stupid that I didn't colour the nibs. But it's fine. I say nibs, the lead. And light. So, oh, actually that needs a little bit more blending. There we go, that's better. Let's just go right over the whole lot. That will give it a really good blend. There we go. Lovely. Right, so that's that. I need to stamp the sentiment on the inside, and I'm going to do that in Gorgeous Grape because that gives me my indigo or purple or, you know, violet, that's the word, in vein, indigo vein. So I'm not actually doing the indigo bit, I'm just doing the vein bit of Richard of York gave battle in vain. Right, okay, so I need that and that first. So this is going to go on here with, where's my seal? There's my seal. So just with seal, I will then make the decision as to whether this one gets ribbon or not. I think it will. But yes, I just thought I would send something cheery to the folks who came back with an extra little something in their luggage. I mean, when you're travelling on a plane, which was 10.5 hours out and about 10 back, it's hardly surprising you're going to pick something up, really, is it? Okay, so do I have just enough room? Just enough room. Snips. So later this week, as in from when I'm filming this, we've got gorgeous weather coming. It's typical, I always say that the weather starts being horrible as the schools break up for the holidays, and it starts being nice again when they go back. And certainly in the UK, the schools go back this week. And we've got 28 degrees in centigrade forecast, which is a nice heat. We were lucky enough to be in Las Vegas when it was not quite as hot as it would normally be. So it was only 35, whereas the week before and the week after, it was 45. So, yeah, love it. Not. So I just want a little fake bow, or fake knot, I should say. There. That's that. And trim that down. Now you could add extra embellishment if you want, but I don't think it needs it. I think this is jolly enough as it is. So this is then going to go on my next white layer. I'm going to sandwich that ribbon there, and then I'm going to use liquid adhesive for my adhesive to stick the black to the white. So this goes on here. And then all I need to do is put the whole thing together. So here's my landscape, that was the word I'm looking for, card base. And that is going to have this on top. So I went for black and white with the primary colours because for me that's a great contrast. I love that really bright contrast against black and white. I think it's just really fun. And then, don't need the Seal Plus anymore, so let's pop that away. Seal. And yes, I know I'm using 3 different adhesives, but I do not like the look of nearly got that wrong. I do not like the look of liquid adhesive on basic white, the smooth basic white cards. So that's just me. So, you know. So there we go, my 2 bright and cheery cards. I hope you liked those. If you did, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you've got questions or comments, those can go below in the description bar. And I will get back to you. I'm almost up to date. I had a bit of a purge on comments while I was away, so we're all good. So yes, let me flip the camera back up and say goodbye properly. So yay to the cards. There we go. Have to kind of work out where I am. So these will be winging their way to my 2 chums, hoping that they will get better very soon. And yeah, thank you very much. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.